Retired military officers protest at Finance Ministry over unpaid entitlements. APC slams Obidients as Obi claims threat to life in New Year address. Bandits demand 100 million naira levy from Zamfara communities. And on the international front, Sao Tome and Principe president dismisses Prime Minister and dissolves government. Hello, welcome to News Updates on Trust Television. My name is Lilian Ogazi. And now to the news. Retired military personnel on Tuesday barricaded the entrance to the Ministry of Finance in Abuja with canopies and chairs demanding the full payment of their long overdue entitlements. This protest follows a similar action in December, during which the retirees shut down the ministry over the government's failure to settle their claims. For months, the retirees were told there were no funds to clear their entitlements despite an official approval for payment. They are owed a 20% to 28% salary increment covering January to November 2024. The retirees are also demanding payments for other outstanding benefits, including palliatives for the period between October 2023 and November 2024. An additional 32,000 naira added to their pensions, a bulk of payments of the Security Department allowance, and a refund of pension deductions from salaries of medically boarded soldiers. In response to their December protest, the federal government paid 50% of the owed entitlements and promised to settle the balance. However, the retirees claim the government has failed to fulfill its promise, prompting the resumption of their protest. The ruling All Progressive Congress and supporters of Peter Obi, the Labour Party's presidential candidate in 2023 election, have exchanged heated words following claims of threat to Obi's life. The tension stemmed from a Sunday interview on Arise television where APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Morka accused Obi of inciting Nigerians against President Bola Tinubu's administration. Morka asserted that Obi had crossed the line with his criticisms. In response, Yunusa Tanko, national coordinator of the Obedient movement, warned the APC against intimidating Obi, his family or associates, emphasizing that the alleged threat must be investigated. He cautioned against any attempt to arrest Obi, warning of potential nationwide backlash. Peter Obi himself addressed the issue on his official X handle, questioning how a simple New Year message could provoke such hostilities. He reaffirmed his commitment to speaking truth to power, despite efforts to silence him. Meanwhile, APC's National Publicity Director, Bala Ibrahim, dismissed the allegations, claiming Morka's comments were misinterpreted and urging Obi to restrain his supporters. The Force Public Relations Officer, Muyiwa Adejobi, stated that the police were unaware of the alleged threat and had not received any related complaints. Notorious bandit kingpin Dogo Gide has demanded over 100 million naira in levies from 23 communities in Safe West area of Safe local government area of Zamfara state. Trust TV gathered that the affected communities were instructed to pay specific amounts with the highest levies imposed on Kuchinkalgo, which was asked to pay 20 million, Sungawa 15 million, and Rakyabu 15 million as well. The levy imposed by the wanted terrorist leader has created tension in the region as residents scrambled to meet the demands amid fears of violent reprisal. Zamfara State Commissioner of Police Mohammed Dalijan confirmed the developments but assured that the situation is under control. He stated that security agencies have been deployed to the affected communities to prevent any attacks and maintain order. CP Dalijan added that no village or community has been deserted. The imposition of levies by bandits has become a recurring strategy to extort rural communities in Zamfara, which has been plagued by insecurity. The FCT Police Command has clarified that at least 2 men were killed when an improvised explosive device exploded on Monday in Kuchubiu community of Bari in Abuja. Initial reports suggested that victims were students, but the FCT police spokesperson Josephine Ade clarified that the deceased were two men who died while tampering with the explosive device. She added that a third man and female trader sustained severe injuries and are currently receiving treatment under police guard. The FCT Police Bomb Squad has confirmed that the explosion was caused by an IED with remnants of the device recovered from the scene. Meanwhile, Adamu Ashimu, the owner of the affected school, has been taken into custody for questioning.
Video the environment, my phone, just video and this environment now. Yes, then get the name of this group. Come, this please. I want to.
Justice Emeka Witi of the Federal High Court Abuja has granted Olamide Thomas, who allegedly issued death threats to Sheyi Tinubu and Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun, a 10 million naira bill with one surety in like sum. In a ruling on Thomas's bail application, Justice Witi said there was no concrete evidence placed before the court by the prosecution that the defendant would jump bail. Justice Witi held that where the accused person would not jump bail or interfere with the trial, it is in the interest of justice for the court to grant the bail request. The judge who ordered the surety to depose affidavit of means also directed the surety to present 3 years tax clearance certificate. He said the surety must reside within the jurisdiction of the court. The judge consequently adjourned the matter until February 18th for trial. The defendant was arrested on alleged allegations bordering on harassing and threatening Sheyi Tinubu, the IGP Kayode Egbetokun, and the police public relations officer Muyiwa Adejobi in a social media post. Families in Hajj on Monday stormed the Lagos State Governor's office protesting against the alleged imposition of an Oba in their community. The families also decried the alleged failure of the traditional authority in Etiosa to recognize Bale, High Chief Ismail Adewale Ojukbo Kefa of the community. The protesters, who carried placards with inscriptions, described the imposition of Olamigbon as a strange speaking on their behalf. Speaking on their behalf, the Secretary of Hajj Community, Prince Kazim Odunlami, expressed grievance, saying the alleged imposition of the Oba by the Olumegon family on them is a stark contrast to the virtues of their culture. He claimed that Olomodi possesses the rightful royal authority over Hajj, validating Bale, High Chief Ismail Adewale Ojukbo Kefa as the paramount ruler in line with chieftaincy declaration.
In the suit that I mentioned, LD 6432, GC MW/2019, we want to ask a question here. If a governor write an appointment on approval, then Akinolu, Oba of Lagos, now wrote a letter to Elegushi, Etiosa, that they shouldn't welcome our Bale in the seat of Etiosa. How could that be? So they are telling us that Akinolu is bigger than Lagos State government. Never.
President Bola Tinubu has mandated the new appointed Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Ibrahim Abubakar Kana, to revive the Nigerian Air Project. Tinubu also directed the civil servant to use his position to sanitize Nigerian airports. Kana disclosed this during a meeting with heads of agencies of the Aviation Ministry and members of staff in Abuja. He assured that the Nigerian Air Project would be achieved within a very short period, adding that they would also intensify efforts to sanitize airports so that they can operate in line with global best practices. It will be recalled that the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, had declared the indefinite suspension of the Nigerian Air Project, saying it was nothing short of Ethiopian Airlines aiming to fly the Nigerian flag. Despite recent reductions in fuel prices, transportation fares in Lagos have remained high, prompting residents to call on the government to establish monitoring agencies at filling stations and within transport unions to ensure compliance with regulated fuel prices. Victoria Tokolo reports from various motor parks in Lagos.
Commuters across Lagos are expressing frustration over persistent high transport fares despite the recent fuel price reduction. While the Nigerian National Petroleum Company has lowered fuel prices, commercial bus and tricycle drivers maintain that they cannot reduce fares due to the high prices they are still paying for fuel at many filling stations. While the Nigerian National Petroleum Company has lowered fuel prices, commercial bus and tricycle drivers maintain they cannot reduce fares due to the high prices they are still paying for fuel at many filling stations. On December 19, 2024, the NNPC reduced ex-depot price of fuel to 899 naira 50 kobo per litre. However, this change has not translated into lower transportation costs for citizens, raising questions about the effectiveness of the price reduction. Speaking with transporters at various motor parks in Lagos, they emphasized the need for government oversight of filling stations as many continue to sell fuel above the regulated price.
Now we are still buying it 950 per litre. How can you expect us to carry 200 naira for you to Mobi? It's not possible now. It's not possible. Mobi, some filling stations they are still selling 1,200 naira. Some filling stations they are still selling 1,000. So government need to monitor those filling stations. Let the fare come down to 500 naira per litre. The transport will not come down.
I so much believe there is a need to monitor filling stations because of some filling stations that are selling, they're still selling high price, and some filling stations are still selling low price. And I believe some filling stations that are selling low price, the meter that we are buying for, they have released the meter. So I believe there is a very, very need for filling stations to be monitoring.
Commuters echoed this sentiment, urging the government to establish monitoring agencies in all states, focusing on both filling stations and transport unions. They believe this would ensure adherence to government-set fuel prices.
So we beg the government to monitor the filling stations so that they will be selling the price that they drop it. As they are selling the price of transport will drop so that it will flow to the market women, so that the market women will drop their own price. Because if the transport is expensive for them, there is no way they can drop the price.
Before now, I believe that government should at least monitor the filling station, because even what the dispensers are dispensing is not really commodity. Even the price they even fix in the first instance. So I believe that if government want to do something concerning this, concerning bringing the price of goods down, they need to monitor, one, the filling station. Two, they need to even call those people in charge of the transport union. They need to call them and talk to them.
The government has to monitor the filling stations and make sure that they are selling at the official rate. And also the road NUWRT, they have to, make sure that their people reduce the price of transport. Otherwise, the effect, will be too much for the masses to bear.
Bus and keke napep drivers are therefore calling for further fuel price reductions, ideally to 500 naira per litre. They believe this would significantly alleviate the financial burden on both commuters and transport operators, making lower fares a reality.
This is news updates coming to you from Trust TV. Coming up, Just Man keeps 20-year archive of Daily Trust newspapers. More to come right after the break. Do stay. You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is news updates coming to you from Trust TV. Let's take a look at our headline stories again. Retired military officers protest at Finance Ministry over unpaid entitlements. APC slams Obidients as Obi claims threat to life in New Year address. Moving on. The governor of Kano State, Abba Yusuf, has urged the federal government to reduce the 2025 Hajj fare to enable intending pilgrims to fulfill the religious exercise. The governor noted that the appeal was necessary given the economic challenges faced by citizens. This was disclosed in a statement issued by his media aide, Sanusi Bature, on Tuesday in Kano. Yusuf made the remarks during an event organized by the State Pilgrims Welfare Board to refund money remitted by Saudi Arabian authorities following a power outage during the 2023 Hajj exercise. He commended the Saudi Arabian government for the refund gesture and promised to send a letter of appreciation to the Saudi kingdom through its consulate in Kano. The governor also applauded the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria for its transparency and timely refund, while lauding the State Pilgrim Welfare Board for the successful organization of the 2024 Hajj. He encouraged the board to sustain its achievements. In an era where the reading culture seems to be fading fast, one man in Jos Plateau State stands out as a testament to the enduring power of the written word. Nafiu Yuao, a businessman and politician, has nurtured an extraordinary habit of buying and preserving copies of the Daily Trust newspaper for 2 decades. What began as a simple routine in 2004 has grown into a remarkable journey. Yuao's commitment to collecting the newspaper every single day without fail has now spanned 20 years, making January 2024 a personal milestone. Ado Musa has more on the story.
Nafiu Yao has transformed a section of his home into a library dedicated to storing his vast collection of Daily Trust newspapers. He credits the newspaper for keeping him well informed on governance, politics and social issues over the years. Yao says his admiration for Daily Trust has only deepened with time.
Taking Daily Trust as my favorite newspaper, I have a lot of reasons. And there is some people that are waiting, or they are used to call me and say, Alhaji Justice, please, what is happening in this area is because they believe that if I tell them something, I have the source of the information. This is the benefit to somebody to waiting for you to tell him that this is what is happening in our country.
In his words, Yao also explained his reason for preserving the newspapers for 20 years. Citing the paper's credibility and value as a reliable source of information.
Keeping the papers is make me happy because when I enter my library, I used to be very busy, the reading, the thinking of, for example, for the first 17 or 16 years, late President Yaradua, if I enter my library, for example, if I want to know something about his government, I would just go into that date of his tenure and check what I want to check and read to know what I want to know. I have confidence on Daily Trust because of their reliable news in our country.
He affirmed his commitment to continuing this lifelong habit, emphasizing that Daily Trust will always remain his trusted source for news. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has announced a remittance of over 6 billion naira to the coffers of the Nigerian government in 2024. According to the board's weekly bulletin released on Monday by its public communication advisor, Fabian Benjamin, JAMB generated a total income of 22.99 billion naira in 2024, out of which 6.3 billion was remitted to the government. Additionally, the board noted that the reduction of 1,500 in the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination form fees for candidates multiplied by the number of beneficiaries increased the effective remittance to 9 billion naira. The board also said the remittance formed part of its operating surplus following the successful conduct of the 2024 UTME. Now on the international front, Sao Tome and Principe's President Carlos Villanova has fired the country's Prime Minister Patrice Emery Trovoada and the government. The move was announced in a statement published by the presidency on Monday. Explaining the reason behind the move, the statement cited prolonged absences of the Prime Minister from the nation, among other reasons. It also accused the government of being unable to provide solutions to the country's challenges, which it listed as economic and financial, and their social repercussions. Chad and Senegal have sharply criticized French President Emmanuel Macron's comment about the withdrawal of French troops from Africa, where he accused some leaders of ingratitude and claimed their sovereignty depended on French military presence. Senegal's Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko dismissed Macron's claim that troops withdrawals involve negotiations, calling it completely erroneous. He asserted that Senegal's decision was made independently as a sovereign nation and accused France of destabilizing African countries, citing Libya as an example. Chad's Foreign Minister Abderrahmane Koulibaly condemned Macron's remarks as disrespectful to Africans and highlighted Chad's sacrifices during world wars. He criticized France's military presence in Chad as serving French interests without fostering local development. Chad's withdrawal of French forces remains on schedule, with troops set to leave their final base by January 31st, 2025. And in sport, despite reports linking Victor Osimhen to a January move to Manchester United, Galatasaray expect that the top striker will remain in Turkey for the rest of the season. Several reports have indicated that United are in talks with Napoli to cut short Osimhen's loan deal at Galatasaray with a possible cash plus player swap involving Marcus Rashford. But according to Sky German's Florian Plettenberg, there is no such deal in the offing. At the moment, there are also no negotiations taking place with other teams. Plettenberg wrote on his X page. Osimhen continues to enjoy his stay in Turkey, scoring 13 goals and 5 assists from 15 games so far in the season. He has so far remained mute on recent speculations concerning his future. Meanwhile, Super Falcons midfielder Deborah Abiodun has completed a move to National Women's Soccer League outfit Washington Spirit. Abiodun joined Washington Spirit from Pittsburgh Panthers. The 21-year-old put pen to paper on a 3-year contract with the option of one more season. The Nigerian spent 2 seasons at Pitt, where she scored 10 goals and registered 3 assists in 34 appearances. Abiodun was named the All-ACC teams in both seasons. In 2023, Abiodun was named the All-Conference Freshman and Third teams, while she earned second-team All-ACC honors in 2024. She was part of Super Falcons squad to the FIFA 2023 Women's World Cup and 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. With that, we've come to the end of News Updates here on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentaries. Thank you for watching. My name is Lilian Ogazi. Bye for now.